Hi guys, good evening.
Hello,
Um,
Pelumi. Good evening.
Hi Boma, good evening. How you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. I know how you doing.
Very well.
Mm,
Thank you. How are you?
I'm alright. I'm alright. Let's just give it like 5 more minutes and see how many more people join. After 5 minutes, then we'll start. We'll start proper. Is that fine?
Yes.
Sure, it is.
All right. All right. Thanks. Okay, guys, we're just waiting for 5 minutes for more people to join. We'll start by 6:05. Good morning. I said, well, good morning, okay. Good evening, guys. How you guys doing? How's everyone doing? How's your weekend going? Damola, Please don't laugh at me, please. I'm still, I'm hiding. Timothy,
Kalumi, how are you?
I'm fine. I got doing. Why are you crying, Gabriel?
The
Okay.
same reason why you said you're hiding.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but okay. Okay. Good evening, guys. I think it has been long since I took a session, but yeah. Welcome to today's session. I'll be introducing you guys to Figma's variables, a new feature that they released. I think it's about 3 months ago. So about 3 months ago. Yeah. I just recently, actually, also just recently, finally decided to understand it, and so let me share the little knowledge that I know about it with you guys. So this will be in two parts. Don't know when the second part will hold, but today's one is just going to be an introduction to Figma variables with colors and the likes. Then the next class, we're going to take it a bit further and see how you can use variables to improve your prototyping, like create even more functional prototypes. Yeah. So yeah, let's quickly get started. Let me share my screen. So what is a variable? Yeah. Um, a variable is a variable is pretty much anything that can vary. Yeah, that can vary in value or take on multiple values in the sense that it is dynamic. Yeah. And variables in Figma helps you achieve this by storing reusable values like color, like numbers that you can apply to your various properties in your design. And variables in Figma, the values can also reference other properties in the sense that yeah, in the sense that you know how currently, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people do this when you are creating your color styles. Yeah, let me just draw up this. When you're creating your color styles, probably you just come to, where is this? Yeah, tint and shades, and create from selected rectangle. What's happening? This is not wide enough. Let me just increase the width of this. I'll run this again. So this tint and shade is to create your color styles. Run now. Sorry. Ah, okay. So I've created this. These are my color styles from 10% to 100%, and then you add them to your styles and stuff. And then when you now want to actually use them in your design, how many of us here have that headache of trying to remember which color you used for heading, which color you used for background? How many of you here used to cram the numbers in your head? Can you react if you have problems like using your colors consistently across board? No one has that issue. Like if I add these styles now, let me add this one. Um, I'll call this. Let me add this style. Oh, let me move this to our practice file. Yeah. So if I create this style here and just call it gray, gray 100, yeah, and this is gray 200, And let's say I've done for everything, and then when I'm now designing and stuff, and I'm trying to add the colors to them. For me, personally, it's a hassle because I always try to remember: is it gray 600 I'm using for body text? Is it gray 300 I'm using for over? Is it gray 100? That kind of thing. Yeah. And in some cases, now if you want to, yeah, yeah, David, yeah. So, and in some cases, if you don't now want to have that situation, then you now start creating new styles like duplicates. Yeah, after you've created this your variant, you now come here and create duplicate and call this probably call this background background background, let's say background default. Yeah, this one and this one is the same color and it's still showing in the same place and everything, just going to make the whole thing noisy. And let's say at the end of the day, okay, I want to change what my gray 100 is, and I've already said that I've already created a style that background default is gray 100. If I now want to change it, I have to go and select everything, both the one that has gray 100 and background default, and now change the hex code manually. I have to change this one, change it to whatever I want. Let's say I want to change to this one, and then go to this one too again and change it, which is actually very, very um in terms of workflow and stuff, it can be very, very daunting. Yeah. So as opposed to styles, yeah, variables allow a kind of flexibility um in the way that you can change, you can it can change based on the context. So if and variables can reference each other. So that's what that means is that if I create these base colors here, they call them semantics. Yeah, the ones that you're actually going to use in your designs. Yeah, semantic express how the element is going to be used in this actual design, whether it's going to be used as a background, whether it's going to be used as body, whether it's, all those things. Yeah, so you will now use those semantics to now reference these guys here. Yeah, this call them primitives or the base. Yeah, these semantics will now reference these guys here. And that is what I'm pretty sure some of you have heard tokenization or tokens. So that's where the whole idea of tokens comes from. The fact that you can reference values from other values. That's the whole idea of tokenization. And Figma is bringing that idea from development into Figma so that handoff and stuff is so much easier between design and development. So, and when it comes to variables, like I said earlier, it can change in terms of context. So I've created, this is something I've created. This is a card, yeah, and I've created different stuff here. If I move this now, what happens? It's going to change to dark mode. I've created a dark mode kind of settings and I've created a light mode kind of settings. So if I move this from here to here, it changes based on the context that I've said. And I also created one for language. Yeah, for let me move this. Sorry. I also created one for language where it shows up it changes to French. Can you see all the text that is there changes to text, and here it changes to dark mode. English, French, English, dark mode English, dark mode French, light mode French, light mode English. How many of you are excited to know how that happens? All right, all right, all right. So we'll get right into it now. So to create your sorry, I'm just going to copy this card because this is what we're going to use as reference and copy it here, and I will detach everything that sorry, I'll detach all the variables that are here. Yeah. So this is what we're going to be using as our reference to create. We're going to replicate that there. So if you come here, if you click out here, you come to this right hand panel here, you see local variables, and this is where you can create your variables. And there are 4 types of variables you can create right now: color, number, string, and boolean. Yeah, color, number, string, and boolean. And also, you might be wondering what is the difference between a variable and a style. With a variable, yeah, multiple you can't have multiple values together at the same time. Look at this. If you notice here, I can add multiple fields, yeah, and I can combine all this and create a style. That is a style containing these 3 properties. But a variable can only can it? Hmm. Yeah. So you see, a variable can only carry one value at a time. So that is difference. That is one major difference between value and style. Yeah. Sorry, variable and a style. Yeah. So I'm going to close that. Remove this and remove this. So if you come here, you can see create variable. You can create color. You can create number. You can create string, and you can create boolean. So we want to now create um, our color primitives. Yeah, we're going to create for our color. We're going to create for and we're also going to create for the content. Yeah, and then we'll see how we're able to use variables to help us create more variants of our design easily and faster. So you can create a variable by if I create a color, yeah, and I say okay, this color is white, and this is here, and sorry, and I can create another variable and call this color black, and I'll change this to to black, yeah. And then these ones are going to be like my primitives. Like I mentioned earlier, that's like the base, what every other thing is going to be based off of. So there's a simple way I learned how to do this. So for this one now, I want to create the color styles. It's going to be hectic for me doing this, yeah, and start naming them one by one, one by one, one by one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to there's this site swatchy.26.studio. Put the link here. If you have any questions at any point, you can just raise up your hand out and I would answer. So with this one, I can create with my color variants, yeah, from the light and to the dark. So I'm going to add a color. So it's just going to add one color. Then I'm going to copy this base color here and I'm going to edit it, change the base here. I want a range of 90, like 10 colors, and I'm going to call it green, green light. Yeah, because like for light mode. So and done. So it has created a palette for me. Yeah, and another one that we want is for our grays. Yeah, so I'm going to pick the base, which is the text, add another color, and done. So I have my grays and I have done. Yeah. So and also it's supposed to be there's a dark mode version. So I don't want to waste time trying to figure out how that is. So I'll just copy and paste here. Oh wow. Uh, okay, I'll just sample these colors. I don't want to sorry. Where's this? Yeah, so I'll just sample that color. Come here and create for our light mode too. So these are our green for dark mode. Sorry, green dark. Done. So now the sweet thing about this website is I can download a Figma variable version of it. Yeah. So once I've downloaded that, I'm going to come. So this is the file that we're working with. Yeah. So I'm going to come here to my plugins and then search for variables import. So this is the tool here. So if I open it, it allows me to variables, import variables using the token JSON file that I downloaded just now. So I'm going to come to my files, download. This is it here. So I'm going to come here and drop it. See, you can see the three variables were created and zero other updates were made. Yeah, you can do it manually and be adding, but I find this very, very fast, especially if I'm starting from scratch. So if you check here, this is where you manage your collection of variables. Yeah, so you can create color collection, you can create your primitives collection and and your and your token collection. Yeah. So these are all the colors that we've added. So let's rename this. I'm going to rename this primitive colors. Yeah. So this is my colors primitive or base. Yeah. So I'm going to now group these guys together. So from here to here is our green light. Yeah. And I'm going to create a new group with selection. I'll call it green green light. Yeah. And then I like to remove these guys. That's the problem when you use it, but you just have to remove these guys. Yeah. Or we can leave it, but actually I just like to sorry. Yeah. Let's just leave it for now. Yeah. So this is our green. Then we come back here to see every other thing. Yeah. This is like the main the main um the main folder ish. Yeah. So from here to here is our gray. I'm going to create a new group, and this is our gray. Then our green. Sorry, come back to the top, and then from here to here, create a new group, and these are green dark. Yeah. So we have created these three guys. Let me just move them out. Uh, yeah. So we have our gray, green light, and green dark. Yeah. So we have our primitives for our color. I'm going to add one more set, yeah, which is our for dark mode. So if we're going to create our neutral, sorry. So I'm going to create another color. This will be white, and then create another variable. This will be black. Yeah. So our black is going to be 1414, and then I'm going to group these guys as neutrals. Okay, neutrals. And then I'm also going to create alphas for our dark mode. So I'm going to group these guys again as these are going to be solids. Yeah, solid. And then I'm going to create for because in dark mode you're going to be using mostly white for your text and stuff like that. So I'm going to create a color. Yeah, so I'm going to call this white alpha. Let's just call it alpha. Alpha 87%. That's for our highest. Sorry, who has a question? Oh, I'm moving too fast. I'm sorry. Where where did you get lost?
Okay, sorry, I got lost when you imported like the JSON file. That's why I actually got lost. Like how you were grouping the colors in the variables, I actually got lost there.
You don't understand how I was grouping them.
Yes, like I understood to the point where you imported them, like from when you downloaded, but as you were rearranging and naming them, I got lost there.
Okay. Okay, let me just control Z. Okay. So these are the colors that I've imported. This way you got lost, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I said I want to now group them. That tool has helped me import all my variables, but I want to group them according to their actual colors, yeah? So these ones, I just use shift to highlight everything. I can select everything one by one. So just shift to the top. And then if I right click, I'll see new group with selection. Yeah, so I'm going to create a group of that selection and name it green light. Yeah, green light. Yeah. So then here for the gray, I'm going to group them to the base and new group with selection gray. Yeah. And then come back to the because this is where this is like the top folder. That is where everything is. So then this one to the last one. And I'm now going to group it. This will now be our green pack. Yeah. So I'm going to move these guys out so that I don't want them to be in that folder because yeah, the folder is useless. So green, these are our green in light mode. These are our grays for text and all those things, background, and these are our green in dark mode. Yeah. Are you clear with that, Any?
Yeah, I'm clear. Thank you.
All right. So and I also rename. So let's rename this. I'm going to rename it to our primitives colors. Yeah. So so yeah. So these all variables. So now I want to create our neutral colors because those ones we create them by hand. I just wanted to create the swatch or the palette for these guys here. So I'm going to come here, create color white, which is this, then create for the black. Our black will be 1 4. And I'm going to group those guys under neutral. Neutral, or I could do this. Yeah. So yeah, so it's now under neutral solid. Yeah. So I want to create alphas for our white, which we use in our dark mode. So I'm going to come here, create color, and that would be alpha 87. So that is white with 87% opacity. Um, Let me just duplicate this variable. So this is 70%. So 70, and then the last one I think we need is a 60% color. Sorry, so let's duplicate it. Well, 60% white. Yeah. So we have our alpha. So I'm just going to group these guys together. Duplicate. Sorry. So I'm going to new group is selection alphas, and then white. Mm, so alphas white. Yeah, so we have the alphas, we have our white, then we have our solid. So I think all the colors that we need, all the colors that we need, like in terms of like the base structure, we have them here. So now we're now going to move to the tokenization, which is actually creating the semantics that we are going to use, whether it's button or text or background or icon, all those kind of things. Yeah. From here, we have, what are the things we have? Background, at least from this card, we're going to have a background semantic. We're going to have text semantic, border semantic, and icon. Yeah, so background, text, border, and icon. So we're going to come here. Sorry, any questions so far? I hope, does everybody understand? If you have any questions, please can ask. Or are we clear so far? If you are clear, can you react? Okay. All right. Okay. So now we are going to create our semantics, which are the actual way we are going to use these base colors that we've created. So let me delete these guys. Yeah. So now I'm going to create a variable, same color. Yeah. And I'm going to call this, let's start from our background. Yeah. Background white. This is this is background I want to use. Yeah. Background white. This is saying that this is for a white background. Yeah. And then based on what I have here, I also have another background here for the image. So I'm going to create another color, background image. So this is for any case where I have an image or like an illustration in the middle, or let's call it illustration. Yeah. So anytime I have an illustration and I have to have this background like this is what it will reference. For backgrounds that are white, this is where we reference. So here now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reference our base white color. So if I search for white, I can see here neutral solid white. This is referencing this primitive that I've already created. And then for background illustration, I'm going to come to our green light. I'm going to pick the lightest one. That is 50. So background illustration now is going to reference this primitive that I've created. And I'm going to group these guys together and call it background. Yeah. So we have our background semantics ready. So next up is our text. Sorry. So I'm going to create another color. So text loud. This one, text loud. So this one is based on, you get, so this I'm saying that okay, for a text that I want it to be like, in terms of hierarchy, is the loudest. I'm calling that text loud. Yeah. So and I'm going to reference my darkest gray. So if I search for gray, I look for gray 900, and that's our loud text. Create another variable. This will be text default. Yeah. So for our default text, which is this ones, I'm now going to reference my base gray. My base gray. Yeah, and then we also have text that is taking the primary colors. Yeah, so I'm going to create a text. Sorry, I'm going to create semantic for that text primary. So any text that is being highlighted with the primary color, this is sorry, green base. Where's the base? Yeah, green light base. Yeah, so we've created for. So let's group these guys together. So this will be our text semantic. Next up is our border. I think in this case, we're only using border primary. So the thing about this is that as you are working along, this enables you to just create as you work. Yeah. So it's probably as you are designing and you say, oh, there's this particular type of elements that, okay, this is the kind of color I want. You can just come to your variables add it, reference it to the base. Yeah, so this enables you to create your semantics as you are working, whilst you've created your primitives already. Yeah, so let's create for our border. So this is border primary. So it's taking the primary color, so that is the base. So I'm going to come, let's just search for base green light. Yeah, and then I'll put it in a group, call this border, and then for our icon, this icon that's carrying the primary field. So create another variable, call it icon primary, and reference our base green. Can you see that there are things that represent that this one now is referencing the same color that this one is referencing? And I'll show you the magic now, yeah? And this one too, you can see that there are three semantics that are referencing the same primitive here. Our border primary, our text primary, and icon primary. Yeah. If it was in if we're using styles, you have to create everything separately just because you want to identify based using semantics. Yeah. So now we are going to, I think we are done with, okay, yeah, it means icon. Okay, let me group this to, I'll call this icon. Yeah, so we have created all our local variables. So now I'm going to come here and replace all these colors with our variables that we've created. So here is so these are your, sorry, let me rename this to, yeah, token. These are our color tokens. Yeah, these are our color tokens. So if I come here now, I'm going to replace everything by their respective tokens. So this is a background here. So background, I search for background. You can see this. These are your variables. Your variables are represented with squares, and your styles are represented with circles. And there's like a distinct. They'll put it here for you that this is a style, and while these ones with square shapes are variables. So this is going to be background white. Yeah. And then for this one is going to be background illustration. Yeah, and for these guys, I want them to be text. So for text is primary. This guy, is text is text is loud. Yeah, sorry, let me detach these guys. I didn't detach all the variables I did. So okay, detach this one, detach, and detach. Yeah. So have I done? Okay, I've done for this one. This text loud. Then this one is text default. Then this is text primary. Yeah. So you can see how easy it is for me to remember that. Okay, this one is text primary. I just look for it and I put it, and then I don't have to worry about which color it is. I just have to think about what am I using this for? What is the use case? And I'm saying, okay, this is the text being highlighted as primary using the primary color. I just search for it and I add it. So this is one of the really cool parts about it. So let's say later in the future, the brand wants to change their color. The people you worked for, they say, oh, we're not using green again now. It's red that we want to use. Easy peasy. Let's come to our swatching. No, let me not even do a whole thing. Yeah. But let me come here. And I'm going to go to our variables. Yeah. I'm not even going to touch this guy. I'm not going to touch these guys because they are referencing. So I'm going to go to the primitives. And let me use one that is quite evident. So these are our base color and say, okay, we're not using green now. We want to use red. Now, watch what happens here. Can you guys see it? Sorry. Can you see the colors changing? I'm only changing the base color, And every other thing that I've referenced is changing alongside because I've referenced those semantics to these primitives here that I've created, and it's just so easy for me to change. You can change the entire brand color and everything at a go without breaking a sweat. Yeah. So that's one of the really cool things about this. Sorry, I didn't do for our borders, our strokes. So this is border primary. Here we have border primary, and then for this icon primary. So if we come here again and I change this guy here to something more, can you see how everything changes straight? Anything that references this green light base changes instantly. Do you guys get how that works? Please react if you understand. Awesome, awesome. So you can change like the entire whole thing, and I'll just switch up all these guys, and then I'm done. Every semantic that I've created is going to apply. Yeah, if it's the, let's say our white now, these are our whites that we've created, and say, okay, no, our whites, we don't want it to be this, we want it to be another color. Yeah, sorry. Have I done this one? Background white. Where's our background white referencing? Neutral, solid, white. Yeah, wait. If I come here, solid, white. So you can see background, because it's referencing that, that's why it is changing. Yeah. So that's how we create your variables Figma, like for your colors. Yeah. And then yeah, you can also create like I said, there are four things you can create: number, string, boolean. For number, that means the number is so so and so. If it's string, if it's boolean. But I'll just show us string for this context. Yeah. So let me create another collection. Yeah, and call it um there's no primitive. Let's just call it token. Yeah. So token for our content. Yeah. So we're going to create a token for our content. So this guy here, because I want to create or no, let's, before we even go far, let's stay on these guys here. Let's go back to colors. So aside from being able to create variables and stuff, you can create what we call modes. So here is, this is where you ask, this is where you see your mode. So this one here is default mode. This guy is underneath here. This column is a mode. Yeah, and this is the name. So you can add multiple modes. Also, disclaimer, you cannot create, yeah, so you can't create multiple modes if you are not using a paid account or like a professional account. Yeah. Or in a project that is paid for. So this file I'm working it is on a project that is on that plan. Yeah. So but yeah, you can create modes. So this is our, let's call this our no, these are primitives, so we don't have to touch these guys. Yeah. So but what we want to touch is our token for colors. We want to create different modes for them. Yeah. So let's call this guy light mode. Or create a dark mode scenario. Yeah. And then we want to say that, okay, for dark mode, our background, we want you to be black. And for the illustration, I want you to go a bit lighter. So let's do 100. Yeah. And then for our text, for the loudest one, we're going to use those alphas that we created. So that is 87. For our text default, so to use, no, 60. Yeah, text default, that is 60. And then for our text primary, we're not going to look for that our green dark. For our dark mode there, and this is the base color for the dark. So I just click on it and then it's referencing it. So we are having different modes and different colors for those modes. Also for our border, we want to change it from that to green for the dark mode, the base, yeah, and then this guy to green base, dark base, yeah. And I've created dark mode fast, so easy. Now watch how we now make use of that. So if I put this guy in a frame right now, and let me change the color so we can see it. So this guy is our light mode. So if I create a duplicate, so this guy here, I can come here to these layers and switch between the variable mode. It automatically, by default, it will take the first mode that you created as the default one. You can see it's on auto light. So I'm going to change that to light. And then for this one, I'm going to change it to dark and watch the magic. Straight up applies everything, all the colors that I've now used for dark modes. That's what it's going to apply for everything that is inside this frame. Or I can actually change it here. You get, if I was actually working, I just so I can show you guys. If I was actually working, I can change this on here to dark mode and it changes. But just so you can see how it works. So this one now already has dark mode applied to it. So if I move this guy here, changes to dark. Move this guy here, changes to light mode because I've created them here. I've set that, okay, for light mode, these are the colors I want these semantics to take. For dark mode, these are the colors I want these semantics to change. And if by any chance I need to change any of these base colors at any point, I just come here to my primitives, I change that color, and it applies everywhere that color has been referenced. Does everybody understand that? Awesome, awesome. So we have our light mode. Let me just make this a bit darker. Mm, yeah, so let's call this dark mode. So if I drag this guy here into dark mode, and if I drag it here, we have our light mode. Easy peasy. So then I remember I said we're going to do for the content too. Yeah, such that in a way that, let's say you are designing, you want to show your client, the client requests that they want to see how your design will looks like in different languages, maybe French or Spanish or Arabic and stuff like that. Yeah, you can also do that. Yeah, so I'm going to come here to our variables, and I've created token for the content. So I can say for the, that's a string. Yeah, so it's going to be a string. So I'm going to say this is card. For this card, this token applies to this card component. So I can say card title. Yeah, card title is, I'm just going to copy this guy, is your weekly stats. Yeah. Sorry, any, go
Okay,
ahead.
so I have a question. So I was thinking that I should know wait at the end. It's actually on this color variable. So
Okay.
assuming that I have like a project I'm working on and I created like style guide and I'm done with like the entire project. Assuming I now want to like introduce like a dark mode, how am I supposed to do it? Am I supposed to start from scratch again? Like
Okay, great question. Great question. So, thanks to the creators in the community, there's a way you can actually move your styles to variables. As long as you group them the correct way, yeah, you can easily change your styles to variable. I think I have styles. Let me search styles. Yeah, yeah. So you can see these styles to variable. This plugin can see it has detected all the styles that are there. You name the collection you want to name it. So let's do an example. Let's call it label. So and then you can choose to use first level of groups to create mode. So let's say I've said, okay, light this, dark this is going to use that to create modes. So let's say, for instance, let me group, let me call this guy. Okay, let me do something. So I just want to sample this guy, and oh, why am I even sampling it? So I'll add this guy as a style. So this will be our, this is our this is our dark mode. Yeah, sorry, style dark. Um, yeah, neutral. Yeah, so this is neutral, and this is background. Oh no, let's just name it straight up. Yeah, this is dark background. The only problem is this, is that the base colors, you are, even after you are done, you still have to reference the colors that you want, because it won't reference those for you. Yeah, so let's do this background. Yeah, background. Yeah, what am I saying? Dark mode background. Default. Yeah. Let's do that. Create, and this is light background default. No. I want to create a style. Light background ground default. Yeah, so we have these two. So I want to use those two to test it. So styles to variables. I'm going to use first level of groups to create modes. So bind styles to, so just convert styles to position and attribute alert for modes for now. How many modes have I created? Oh, so it's matching these guys have different modes. Let me delete these colors. Yeah, let me delete them. So I'll come here and use first level of groups and convert styles to variables. So one color variable created with two modes. So if I come here now, where is it? Sorry. Yeah. So if I come here, which one is it? Token. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is it. So you can see it has created it dark, light, because I named it properly and everything is in order. If not, it would have created a separate, even if it's one letter that is not there, it will create it as a separate key because the name is not the same. Yeah. So we have our light mode and we have our dark mode, and it has been created already using that style to Kine. And if it is that you've already even done these guys already down and it's dark, it will convert everything to your to variables. Yeah. So that is a plugin that you can use to convert your styles to variable. And if you don't want the modes or anything, it can create everything like that. Based on, it's because I named it that, okay, this is for dark mode and this for light mode. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So let me just okay, that is gone. So we have our colors, and so let's go back to our contents. Yeah. So these are our card title, and then another string card progress. So we can call this progress. And then for this guy, you can say card content title. Yeah. So and then for create, just duplicate this one. Card content sub, which is for this one. Then this is button text. Um, card button text. Yeah. And then I think that's all the text that we have. So let's just copy the text that we have here. Um, title. Okay, we have title. Cut title. Oh, sorry. And we can start. Yeah. So we have everything in place. So let's call this English. Yeah. So this is for English language. Let's say we want to have German, a mode for German, and yeah. So I'm just going to let's go to our Google Translate. So let's do English to German. X is longer. German is longer. So then card progress of sorry. Yeah. And so what's a way that we can show how this same design looks like in another language. So copy, paste this here, and last bit. Yeah, so we have our English mode and our German mode. So if I come here now and let's create this. So I come here. If I move this guy here, still light mode. So here, if I come back here to the layers panel, sorry, here, yeah. So we can see uh, where is our token of English, German. That's weird. Why is it not showing up? Okay, I've not applied the tokens here. Sorry. So this guy is yeah, this is our card title. So this is where you apply the string tokens. Yeah. So this is one of three. This is our content heading. This is our sub and our button contents. Yeah, so it will show up here now that we can have. So you can see token content is on English. No, I want to change to German. So this is German. Do you guys see? So this is German. And if I bring this guy here, change this to English because it's currently English, and we can have dark mode for German. So we have German dark mode. Sorry. Dark mode for German, dark mode for English, light mode for English, light mode for German. Does everybody understand? You guys get that? All right. All right. So this is for text, yeah, and we can also have then there's also for your spacing. You know, when you're working with spacings, you're dealing with numbers and stuff like that. So you want to create you also want to create your spacing, um, your primitives for your spacing. Yeah. So I'm going to create new primitives spacing. Yeah. Create a very number. Yeah. So I can say 0, 0, then new number 1. That is 2. Step of 2. Create new um, number. Yeah. So let's do 4. Sorry. It's 3. This is 6. So this is like our spacing. Okay, so if I group all these guys and new group is selection spacing, yeah, and then we can also have um for our corner radiuses, yeah. So I can say radius radius small, sorry, radius small and duplicates radius medium. As like I'm using t-shirt sizes, medium, large, um, extra large, uh, extra large. So can I have as small as 4, medium 8, large 12, XL 24, XXL 60. Yeah. And then for spacing, so I could have spacing. Yeah. So we can put spacing on spacing 2 and then all the way down to the end. So 4, 6, 8, 12, like that, like that, like that. So and then we can also now create our semantics. Yeah. Token um spacing. Yeah. Or let's just call it token numbers or something. Spacing. So and then I can say okay for um radius. Let's say I want it to be very rounded. Let's say for a case of, yeah, let's even do, forgot to add, let me add one more here. I'm not this guy here. Space radius, no, yeah. So I'm going to call that 0. Yeah, so there is no radius. And then I'll come back here, radius is for rounded. So if it's fully rounded, I want it to be XXL. If it is radius sharp, yeah, so I want that to be no. And then radius round, I want that to be medium. Yeah. So let's say these are the three types of um these are the three situations where, or the three design styles I might probably have. Yeah. Let's say you want to see how your design looks like if it is um if all the edges are rounded or if they are sharp or if they are just round. You get. So and I can come here. I come here and apply that token here. So you can see here that variable. You can see here I can apply and I can say this one is currently no. Yeah. And here too it is no. And this guy is so let's make this guy I'll say no to you too. So you can see that it changed it immediately to the value that is supposed to be applied. And let's say there's an instance of the object where I want it to be round. So I can set different modes for that. I can set depending on the design style that I'm saying, okay, this represents. Yeah, so I can currently it is on let's say this is professional. Yeah, this is a professional kind of look. Yeah. Can create another mode and say, oh, this is soft. Yeah. Soft kind of look. And for here, yeah. No, 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 no. Professional no radius, blah blah blah. Yeah, for this one, I'll now say, okay, for you, I want you to be small. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm, okay, no. I can even actually, no, this one is, let's call this for card because it's possible that we have a different case. So let's call this guy's card. Yeah, so for the card radius is no. So let's actually use it for the cases where we are using them. So this for the card radius and this is button radius. Yeah, button radius, and then this is card inner radius. Let's say for like the inner element inside the radius, maybe there's like a picture or something. So I've set these guys to be no, no, and no. Yeah. So let's see if this still applies. So let's come here and do card radius. Yeah. So card, this is inner. This is the card radius. Yeah. And this one is our button. So I say, okay, for a soft kind of look, I want the card radius to be what's that? Yeah, Excel. And for the button radius, I want it to be rounded. And for the cardinal radius, this one. So that's for a soft and professional look. So if I come here, if I drag this guy here and let's say we want this one to be the one to show the soft look. So if I come here, I can see for the spacing and change this to soft. Do you guys see? And everything changes to what I have applied it to be. So this one has that soft kind of look. If I drag it here, it comes back to the sharp kind of look and can present these values in different ways. So that is using like your spacing and stuff. So you can apply it here. Also here you can apply the spacing here too. But I think it's plenty. Spacing is plenty. You can have up to 96 px. So I don't want to create all the whole spacing. But once you apply all the spacings here, then you create semantics for it that okay, this is spacing large, this is spacing extra large, that kind of thing. Or this is you get. So once you create the semantics, just link them and then apply them in your designs. And it could be a case of especially spacing in mobile is different from spacing in web. So that's something you probably want to like another use case for that. You get. So if it's mobile design, can say a mode for mobile, a mode for desktop. Maybe you're creating like this one as a professional, created like for a professional and for a professional and like for a soft kind of look. So that's pretty much it. And also, if you are talking about like mobile and desktop, probably there's some elements that you don't want it to show depending on the breakpoint or whether it's desktop or mobile. You get, yeah, I'm sure if you notice some websites, you see that some things are hidden when you're on mobile. So you can also have that kind of situation there by using Boolean. Yeah, so Boolean, sorry. So if I create, let me just use this one. Yeah, if I create a Boolean, yeah, I'll say, let's say button. Yeah, show button and say okay when let's call this mobile now. I'll call this no, let's call this mobile. Let's say we want the button to hide when it's on mobile and we want the button to show when it's on. So if I come here, I come to where is it? Sorry. Um, mm, X. I was in text. Where is this thing? Uh, hmm. Yeah, I think this probably applies to the prototyping part of things, which is still kind of. But yeah, if you use this boolean, you can use it to describe whether you want something to show or not show. Probably tackle that in the next when we're talking about prototyping. I think that's where it will probably apply. But yeah, so those are the kind of variables I can actually create for now. I can create colors, numbers, string, and boolean. I think Figma is currently trying to work on text like styles where to actually carry like all these settings that you've applied and you can create them as variables. So yeah, yeah, any good.
Okay, and I've seen a use case where they use Boolean for like e-commerce, where, for instance, if you add plus, it will multiply, like it will increase the
Yeah,
amount of one thing and
yeah. So that is with prototyping. So we'll talk about that
okay, thank you.
in the next session. Yeah. But does everybody understand like this the basics of variables now and how you can apply it to your own designs now? Okay. So everybody understands the basics of variables. Any questions? Any is the only one asking question. No. Nobody should come and meet me after.
Okay, so my question would just be that, like, so are you saying, like, based on what you have done, you started like from the basics, like from the scratch? So that
Mm-hmm.
means that you advise that maybe if you're handling projects, you should not create styles, you should create variables instead. Is that what you say?
Yes, that's what I would say.
And you
That's
should do it from the beginning too, like before we
yeah,
even start.
yeah.
So instead of using like this style panel, that means that maybe you want to use a color now, you make the color like from the variable selection, not from the style guide, like
Mm-hmm.
assuming using.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
I think about styles now. Styles you can a style can house multiple variables. So I can create a style that okay, let me add see I can add illustration. Can you see? And this one too, I'll change this to uh, Let me change it to. If I drag this or you just take, you get. So I can have multiple variables together like here like this. Yeah. And I can batch them together and create a style. You get. So that's I've actually not seen any use case for this yet. Like, but where it could be useful is probably creating like you can see this almost looks like a different mode, like some kind of dark mode ish. So maybe you want to overlay one color on another color. Could be useful in that sense to create a style. Yeah. So I think that is a literal sense of what a style should even be. You get. So different things you mix together and you create a style. So you can have multiple variables and key them to a style. And I can say, okay, this is dark. This is for our dark mode. Dark mode, our primary kind of dark mode that has like the primary color embedded into it, as opposed to just having pure black. Yeah. So this is a style. Yeah. You can't achieve this with variables. You probably have to select this color itself, sample this color itself, you get sample the color and then create it as a variable and use it wherever you need this kind of style. Yeah. Yeah. So that is that understood? All right. All right. So any other questions before we call it a night?
So please, the record will be made available, isn't it? Like after.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. All right. So if there are no other questions, thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys learned a thing or two and properly understand how to use variables. I personally encourage you guys to use it. Really super sweet and easy once you set it up from the start. And if you are trying to migrate from styles to variables, like I said, there's a plugin you can use for that, styles to variables. As long as you've named your styles properly to convert everything to variables, yeah, you can get moving from there. Thanks, Damola. Cheers. Hope you guys have a great night. See you guys when I see you. The recording will be made available once it's ready. Yeah, thanks. Bye.